Hey guys, Baker here. It's been a while since I've made any YouTube videos, and today on stream we discussed it and people said I should just put it around some, fast showcase video of my CI Stormburst Trickster that I played in Legion League, because I feel it's a really good balance between fast clearing and boss killer abilities, but it's not a solo self-found build per se for the SSF event. I'll try to make it work. I have to balance around a few things in path of building, but this is just a showcase for Trade League for an endgame boss killer. If you like my videos, hit the follow button. Also follow me on Twitch to see me live, and I'll try to put out more YouTube content in the future. Thank you guys for watching. Have fun. Okay guys, so let's go over the most important passives here. Basically I go through the Fizz damage because it scales our Stormburst damage, which is Fizz before it gets converted, and also the Chaos damage we gain from extra Chaos damage. It's one of the strongest type of damage we can scale from the tree. Also, I like to get as many ES nodes as possible, and of course every crit chance and crit multi-node you can get. On top of it, Arcane Swiftness is really nice for the increased cast speed and spell damage. Also helps you block and avoid ailments. Chaos Annihilation, obviously, because this is a CI build, and it goes really well with Ghost Reaver, and Stormburst has insane potentials of Leech, so everything boosting your recovery rate is really good for this build. The reduced mana reserve I took for the Precision, to get that extra aura in and just have some more mana left to spare. Although with all the mana reductions I'm using on this build, it's kind of redundant. Nimbleness, obviously movement speed multiplier is really nice. Lucidity is really important because it has the minus mana cost on channeling skills and damage, obviously. Then I took like this melding cycle, especially with the energy from within, which you don't have to do. You could just go with a regular rare jewel as well. Just anything that boosts global fizz damage, multiplier, cast speed helps us. Then we went through the ES nodes. Here we can take a few more if you have higher level. Also, Potency of Will is one of the most important because it makes us spawn more Stormburst balls, because the duration until it explodes determines how many balls we can spawn until then. And if we have skill effect duration, it takes longer. It has a longer time to spawn balls, kind of. In this case, I used the Watcher's Eye. This one is pretty perfect, which will be hard to obtain in the new leagues. Energy Shield gained on hit or Energy Shield recharge rate paired with penetration is the best Watcher's Eye you can get. Here we have more multi, area of effect and area damage. Then I went into the Templar area of the tree, took more area, of course, and I like those nodes, especially because they lead up to this jewel slot, which is the only one in this build where we can put in the Vigil sufficiently and get the long fortify buff that I use. With Vigil and Vigilant Strike, you have a 37 seconds long fortify buff for you and your whole party. Okay. So, Ascendancy is pretty straightforward in this case. We took Harness of the Void because it applies so much extra chaos damage that's hard to measure in PoB. It's really, really strong for this build. So this one is a must. Then we have Swift Killer, obviously, for the Frenzy and Power charges, especially because we get damage per Frenzy and Power charge. Then we have Ghost Dance to get some extra chance to evade and evasion. And also damage taken per Shroud. And Escape Artist is really important for our chest, so we can use a Evasion Energy Shield chest and still get maximum energy shield from it. Also, the 10% chance to dodge spell hits is really good if you have Energy Shield, which is always as a CI character. Okay, here I don't want to go through it too much. You can check it in the POB. The only things I want to discuss is this one will change a lot because the gain 20% elemental as extra chaos or just any conversions got nerfed quite hard in the new patch. So we gotta look out for anything that's spell damage, lightning damage to spells, cast speed, multiplier, and try to boost it that way. Also, multi-modding is nerfed quite a bit, so it might be a rare scepter that we need. On the rings, we will try to get the -3 to cost of channeling skills, because the minus total mana cost doesn't apply anymore and doesn't work anymore in the new patch. So maybe we can still get the temple mod, the Xopex up there, and reduce the mana cost through that. But we could craft -3 on amulet and 2 rings, so that will make our Stormburst costs so low amount of mana that we can sustain it all the time. For the boots, I went with the cannot be chilled and cannot be frozen. I think we can still do that in this patch. We just can't craft the extra intelligence on top of it. But those boots are really good because they make us clean up a ring slot that was filled with dream fragments, usually. Or you have to give up a flask for it. Chest is pretty straightforward, just as high evasion rating as possible and as high energy shield as possible. Everything else is a good plus. On the helmet, we said the enchant would be really good because we get 15% chance to create additional orbs, so that goes with the skill effect duration very well. So it's a really good enchant. If you don't get it, it's fine. I would try to craft with a metallic fossil to get -9 lightning resist. On top of that, to enemies, and then the helmet would be perfect. Okay, so flasks, quite easy. Since Rebirth is the best in slot flask for this build, first of all, we gain evasion rating, we create a smoke cloud on use, we're immune to ignite and burning, which is really strong on CI builds, and we gain Unholy Might, which gives us 30% fizz damage as extra chaos damage. Then I have a Diamond Flask just for critical strike chances lucky, on top of everything else, with immunity to shock, of grounding this time. Here a Jade Flask, I like to use that especially in Delve scenarios, to just boost our evasion to nearly max. Wise Oak is one of the strongest flasks in this build. I really like to use it if you can balance your resists around it. If you have all 3 resists at the same value, it applies 10% reduced damage from each element, and it gives you 15% penetration for each element. So this flask is really strong, and I suggest, if you can, use it, especially in a trade league scenario. Here we just have a Quicksilver Flask, which can be easily replaceable by Bottled Faith. This flask is best in slot as well for this build because it has 40% increased damage because it's a sulfur flask. It creates consecrated ground, and that consecrated ground makes enemies take 2% additional crit strike chance on your spell, which is really high. You max out crit strike chance, and on top of it, they get 10% increased damage from everything. Valid options are Aziri's Promise for the extra fizz and extra elemental damage, and also some leech on top of it, and Taste of Hate obviously is also a valid option if you want some extra fizz damage or you cannot be shocked somewhere else. But basically this setup would be perfect. In this Shaper run, I try to take as much damage as possible, like just face tanking most of it. So it's not the cleanest run, but I wanted to showcase how much this build can take. I'm taking slams and I'm taking like unnecessary damage here. What's nice about this build is that you can actually kill bosses from further away, like this one, so you don't have to fill around with anything and can just take it from the distance.
Final warning. You force my hand again, little mouse. So be it. You've chosen to side with chaos. This is my world, and you shall obey my order. Insignificant.
Trying to recover. Hurry! Let's find a way back. The face of your unmaking. Father, it's me. Let me help you.
The horror must be stopped. Obstacles destroyed.
Stay close. They're coming through. Recovering. We need to find a way back quickly.
Mine. I cannot lose them.
They lie to you, Father.
So I hope you enjoyed this video and have maybe a better understanding of how Stormburst works and the abilities you have with it. I couldn't like make an in-depth guide or anything about it because I didn't have the time in preparation for the Zizaran event and also putting out videos and streaming. So In case you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section below or just come to my stream and ask me anytime. So good luck if you want to try this build out. I'm open for any suggestions if you have some optimizations, especially for 3.9. Please post them in the comments or come to my stream and ask me any question or show me your build. Good luck guys and have fun.